It was 1995 that I got invited to be a part of Genesis, a program that Bill Moyers did. And I sat pretty arrogant, pretty sure of what I knew about the Bible, not only what I had learned, but what I taught. And I sat with Muslims and Jews who told me other stories. And as a storyteller, and I've been a storyteller pretty much all my life. I'm the oldest. I think I inherited it from my aunt. The midrash, the stories from a Jewish perspective, opened up a whole world for me. But even more than that, Muslims had names for women. And as a woman, and as a Christian woman, I always struggled with my place as a woman. Paul said, let the woman be silent in the church. Well, I'm a storyteller. I run my mouth, so it was kind of hard for me to fall into that category and obeying the man. Okay, I had to obey my dad pretty much because he was in charge, but with my husband, it was like, I can be as smart as you. But when I did the Genesis program, it was like something opened up for me. And I could see God as bigger than my religion, or even the God that I supposedly served. And I think of myself as a servant of God, that we all are, that we're in this world to make a difference in the world and to treat each other better and care about one another and take care of the earth. And it wasn't enough just being Christian anymore. I got invited to United Religions Initiative, and in some ways the rest is history, like the story that I told earlier tonight about finding your spot. I found my spot. I love interfaith work. I love intercultural work. I love being part of a greater family, a human family that's full of people that look like both of us and all the colors of the rainbow in between of people.
I study with my tribal teacher. She is a woman who has been given all this wonderful wisdom passed down through the generations. And she has a wonderful way of helping you to discover what direction you came in to this world on. And it just so happens that I came in from the north. And what that means in our tradition is that I am to work and be in a relationship with all kinds of people. Because at first when I started studying with her, I thought I was studying with her simply to work with my own people. And she goes, oh no, Kathy, you're to work with all people. And so that was like, okay, that was a sign for me that there's something going on here. And the other thing that happened was I began to find people along my path of different faiths and different traditions for various reasons. And I began to listen to them, and I began to hear that their faith was very important to them. So I was curious about that, so I began to ask questions. And then I discovered that, oh, and my faith is also something so important to me, but I saw we had some commonness, some connection there. And that was what it made it so easy for me to transition into the interfaith conversation, because I saw that I was related to everyone. And that comes from my tradition. My tradition of the Ahashimon is that we are related to all things and all people.
In the Buddhist tradition, we follow the path of the Bodhisattva, inspired by that. Bodhisattva means awakened being. And an awakened being is not asleep. And he's not asleep, or she is not asleep, to the things that are so familiar that we tend to go to sleep to them, overlook them. For example, the fact that one would be the fact that not just all humans love their lives, but all creatures love their lives, just like I do. And so if I can find a way to nourish my body that doesn't involve taking the life of something else, I prefer to do that, because that's to wake up to a fact of interrelatedness, interdependence. So that's one that we wake up to. And that's kind of interspecies, connectivity, a bigger family. So if you want to be kind to all creatures, then how much the more do you want to be all kind to people who believe in a religion differently than mine? or who practice a spiritual path different than mine. So the foundations for interfaith, seeing the interconnection between all living beings, is just implicit in what Buddhists do and think.
As a Baha'i, one of our central tenets is belief that all of the world's religions come from one divine source. That really that each of the messengers of all these different religions were revealing the same eternal truth from the divine spirit, though it may be clothed in different outward forms that are appropriate for that day and age. So taking that idea into interfaith for me is living that ideal and learning to love and appreciate the best of all religions through my encounters in interfaith settings.